Hey, what's up YouTube family? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Glad you could be here with me. And so today's video is going to be a little bit more of educational video. So make sure you tune in. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're back, again, welcome. So let's do this. Today's video comes more from a lot of questions that I get from friends, family, people that just want to know about politics, especially with what's going on in the world right now. So I get asked a lot about BLM, Black Lives Matter, right? So I'm gonna put up a picture right now, just showing you guys, what their symbol is, and just comparing it to a Russian symbol. So you can see that certain things, especially even in today's world, like fashion, a lot of stuff's starting to come back that was back in the days, the 80s, 90s, overall, things are all coming back. Same thing with this, symbols are starting to come back. So don't get me wrong, I'm a minority. I support all lives. I support, that all lives should be treated fairly. That everyone should have the right to be able to pursue, their happiness and be able to prosper in the world. So what I am against is an organization that takes advantage of that. So when you start exploiting people based on their emotions and you know what you're doing psychologically, then I have a huge problem with that. So that's why I put up that picture so you guys can see exactly part of what they're doing. So psychologically, they're putting something for you to look at and for your mind to remember it, so you don't associate it anymore with being a communist signal. Now you associate it with being a Black Lives Matter signal. So that's the very first thing that I wanted to show you guys, on what their symbol is and where it comes from. And here's the second thing. So for this, we're going to go to the computer. So I want to show you guys something. If you guys can all do this at home. So by all means, don't just take my word for it. Please do it yourself. And that way you guys can see exactly what I'm looking at, but I want to show you guys what I did. So we went to Google here, right? And we're going to type in Black Lives Matter, or BLM. I'm going to give it a sec here. Black Lives Matter. And then we're going to search. And obviously we're on Google. We're going to click Black Lives Matter, and it's going to take us to their website. Boom. So now we're on their website, right? Black Lives Matter, their official site. If you guys haven't been there, this is it. But here's the one thing I want you guys to notice on the right hand side, the donate button, right? So what happens when I do feel, hey, I want to donate to Black Lives Matter? Let me click on it. Give it a second to load, and boom, right? Comes here, Black Lives Matter logo, right? People standing up for their rights, social injustice. But are we on the Black Lives Matter website? No, you're not. You're on secureactblue.com. Okay, wait, I thought I was donating to Black Lives Matter, but I'm on secureactblue.com. That's weird. That's interesting, right? So let's do the same thing and go to Joe Biden's website, right? So you guys know Joe Biden's a Democratic person running for president. When you click on it, go to his website, and you go to Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. And so they also have, to be able to get into their website here. So you're going to have to type in your information. But the crazy part is when you go to their website and you're going to donate, guess what? It's also going to take you to actblue. So that's going to lead us to a different question. Who in the world, or what in the world, is actblue? And why is it when I go to BLM to give money, whether it's $5, $10, it goes to the exact same place that when I go to Joe Biden's website to give money? So we're going to do our homework and we're going to follow the money, right? Because before I type into it, every detective movie says what? Follow the money. If you follow the money, you're gonna get to the bottom of the story. So we're gonna go to actblue.com, right? Actblue, here it is. So I want you guys to see here, you know, that they are an organization that collects money. All right, so they are a company that collects money, but that they mostly give their money to who? Democratic candidates. Think about that. You go to donate to Black Lives Matter for George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and, you know, all these people, thinking that it's going to be used for them, but yet it goes to Act Blue, who turns around and gives the money to Democratic candidates. But I digress, so let's click on actblue.com so that way you guys can see for yourselves. And we're going to let it load. And I want you guys to notice something. Once it loads, takes a second. We're going to go on their website. Very first thing that says here is what? That is 7 billion, not million, billion dollars that have been given to Act Blue. So this is who they are. If you go through their website, you're able to see who they are. Now, here is something that starts getting more interesting for everyone that I want you guys to really put your thinking caps on and hang in here with me. So if I go to BLM and I give them $10, those $10 go to Act Blue. Act Blue now, because they are third party, they can decide what to do with my money, where it goes, and how it's being handled. So the interesting part is that, you know, Joe Biden declared for president, he won, and all of a sudden in the month of May, he gets a huge influx, a huge donation, you know, from Act Blue. It even says it here. This is from CBS News. All right, so we've gone to BLM's website, you know, nothing conservative there. We went to Joe Biden's website, nothing conservative there at all, right? We went to actblue.com, nothing conservative there at all. Now we're on CBS News, nothing conservative there. And look at this article. It's letting us know that that Joe Biden and Act Blue ranked in big money in May, right? So when we go here and we, go down to the article, it says that they raised $80.8 million in May. That's insane. Over $80 million in the month of May alone. Act Blue raised for Joe Biden. Think about that. That is a crazy amount of money that was raised in 1 month. But that leads us to wonder, what happened in May for Act Blue to all of a sudden raise this amount of money, right? All of a sudden, what happened? I think it was May 25th. Anybody know? George Floyd. That's when the incident of George Floyd, BLM got big, Antifa got big, May 25th. So from May 25th forward is when all of a sudden Act Blue started getting huge donations. Started giving huge amount of money to Joe Biden. So think about that. Here we got someone who needed money, became Democratic president. If I go to BLM, I'm thinking I'm giving to a social justice website, but I'm really giving to a Democratic candidate. What? And they're not even telling me about it. I'm getting redirected to that website. And Joe Biden gets over $80 million in the month of May alone. For the total of his campaign, and again, this is the Washington Post here. So that way you guys can see this has nothing to do with my, you could say, conservative view or anything like that. Biden entered September, which just passed, $466 million that his campaign has raised. That's almost $500 million that they've raised. Wow. Think about that. $500 million that he could put towards ads, towards, social media attacks. There's a lot of things. So we're going to go here and we're going to also look at one more thing here for Act Blue, letting you know that the actblue, which is used for Democrats and progressive groups to raise funds, announced that it raised $178 million in the month of May. Think about that, $178 million that all go to Democratic candidates. So you wonder why you hear a lot about the Democrats? It's because they put a lot of money into it. And it says here that the average contribution was only $34. So I want you guys to think about that, because that means that the average person was giving about $40 to actblue in order to, thinking that they're giving $40 to BLM, thinking that they're giving $40 to BLM, they're going to help, with the community, that they're going to help with many things, but in reality, they turned around and just gave that money to Democratic candidates. So you were giving money, but you may ask, well, what does actblue have to do with this, right? Why are they in the middle of all this? Well, it's because actblue charges a processing fee. So when you donate $40, actblue charges a 6% processing fee. I want you guys to think about that. So remember that initial thing that we saw for actblue? How much money had actblue raised? Over $7 billion. Now do the math. How much of that money have they gone to keep? So that's really interesting. And here's another thing. I'm going to put up a picture of the building where actblue is located. Does that look like a company that owns or takes in $7 billion that runs through there? No. And they only have 2 employees on file. Think about that. Everyone else is quote unquote a volunteer. This company brings in over $7 billion and they only have 2 employees on file and everyone else volunteers. Yeah, there's something interesting going on there, right? So let me bring it back here. So what was the point of showing you guys all this? It's because I want you guys to open up your minds to what's going on. Just follow the money. Do like I did. Follow one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And if there's over, $300 million going into organization and no one knows where that money's going, it's your right to know, so you should look it up and you should see. And if your money's going to a certain candidate and you didn't want it to, then you should speak up. And so that's really what it's for. I don't support BLM, the organization, because the organization has ranked in a lot of money and just given it out. And you saw, to Democratic candidates. That's what I'm against, But, again, I am with us having to care and love for each other. That's just human nature. That's what it says to do, right? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if I take care of someone else, they're going to take care of me. If I hug someone else, they're going to hug me. I smile at someone else, they're going to smile at me. So it's that simple. Let's treat others the way we want to be treated, right? So if we treat each other like that, the world's going to be a better place. And then second of all, it's your hard-earned money, your hard-earned cash. So careful where you're giving it, careful where you're donating it, and make sure you know where it's going and what your money is doing. Because you want to make sure that it goes to the right place and make sure it goes to where you wanted it to go. Hopefully you liked this video. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, hit the notification button. I'm going to have a lot more videos to come. And see y'all next time.